Jamarcus Russell was on a podcast, got called a bust, and he doubled down on the stance of, he said, I'm paraphrasing here because I don't want to get caught by the media police. He said, y'all better call me the biggest bust. Now, that opens up the question.
Like a badge of honor.
Who is the biggest quarterback bust of all time? Is it Jamarcus Russell? Is he accurate in his own self-assessment? Oh,
Ryan Leaf is definitely up there.
Ryan Leaf is there because people said very vehemently in that draft, you should take him over Peyton Manning. Like, you are an idiot. The Colts are.
It was him or
idiots.
Manning. Those were the two.
Let's recap, though, for those maybe unaware of some of Jamarcus Russell's antics that he did as QB. One of that comes to mind, and you guys can join in on whatever you remember, but one that comes to my mind was this man said he was watching film, right?
Oh my God, I love that story.
He said he was watching film. And so his personnel, his staff, didn't really believe that he was watching film. So what they did was one day, they gave him some tapes, and these tapes were blank. Then the next day, Jamarcus Russell, he comes in, he said, hey, what, did you watch the tapes that we sent you? And Jamarcus Russell says, yeah, I did. And I learned all about those blitz pickups on the way, so we're good. It was at that point the Raiders knew maybe we've messed up. Maybe we have made a mistake.
Well, that's what happens when you only draft a guy for throwing 60 yards on one knee.
Now, here's the thing, though, right? Like,
Baker Mayfield has
Gronkowski,
a similar story right now, too.
Gronkowski has said many times that he doesn't watch film and he just goes wherever Brady tells him to go. Now, I'm sure there are many examples of players that just didn't care on that side and got away with it because they were super athletic. Like, I remember one time I did ask Dan Orlovsky on Twitter, I was like, do you know as a quarterback that guys don't even know the play? And he was like, yes, all the time. Like, you know when somebody just has not done their homework, but these guys, can play up to 10, 12 years. Jamarcus Russell was just bad.
He couldn't read defenses. That was his problem.
He couldn't read defenses because he didn't study film.
Was he bad, or was he
he should not
put in the work? Because
it's both.
One thing
it's
to
both.
be talented, right? You just have innate ability. It's another thing to just not want to do hard work, to put in the hours. What are we saying Jamarcus Russell was? Untalented or not hardworking?
I think the real big problem with Russell is, and a lot of people don't remember this, is like he showed out in the national championship game and was firing rockets against or Notre Dame. It was a bowl game, and it was like a showdown between him and Quinn. And all of a sudden, he jumps from like a top 10 QB to number 1 overall because all the pro scouts were like, oh my gosh, look at this arm. And really, it was a very simple offense that they ran. And he was not as good, unfortunately, as his big arm led other people to believe. Here we go. Josh Rosen is a good one.
Hey, I thought he was going to be one of the better quarterbacks. I thought he was the most NFL ready in the draft, so...
On my
Josh
Rosen.
On my tweet, we have some new candidates. I want to get your guys' takes on these. We have Johnny Manziel coming
big
up.
Big bust.
He should have never been picked that high.
Yeah, he could not do anything in the NFL.
Timothy Tebow.
And we also have...
He should have never picked that high either.
Please relax on. This man has won a playoff game. Okay, please relax on Tim.
And because Ike Taylor played the worst defensive performance of his career.
Schuler was a big bust.
Tim Couch on the tweet.
Couch got ruined because he played for a Browns team that didn't support him. That's what happened.
Every Browns quarterback ever? Is that what you're saying?
Like
David
I think
Carr?
he wouldn't have been great, but still, David Carr's another one. Like he got destroyed.
David Carr,
he had like
not
80
the
sacks
biggest
in a
bust
game.
of all time. Of all time, David Carr's not worse than Jamarcus Russell.
I mean, like, are we going just quarterbacks? Because like Tony Manning is up there for the Packers.
If you want massive busts, I'd probably say Isaiah Wilson. 4 snaps, even though he's a late first-round pick, that's a colossal bust.
Oh, but like, think about it. Your late round, your expectations are not as high as first.
But your expectations are him to
1-1.
play more than 4 snaps. You're going to want a starter out of that.
That's true. I mean, that is true. So it's just like, what are we saying? Are we saying Jamarcus is a bigger or lesser bust because of his draft position?
If you draft a 1-1, right, you're expected to be a starter at least your entire rookie deal, right? Mm-hmm. Like Baker Mayfield, not a bust because he fulfilled his rookie obligation. He won a playoff game. To me, that's the floor for a 1-1.
He's an pick, like,
right.
Jared Goff's an pick.
Someone
Do
said
we open it up further?
I don't blame RG3 at all.
No, RG3 is not a bust.
I don't blame him at all. I blame
that was the
Redskins.
Redskins throwing him.
Yeah,
he
for
was
sending
a
him to die.
sensation. Yes.
Dude, he was so good.
Luck too. I mean, Luck got destroyed by the Colts.
RG3, if he never got injured, we would be talking about this man a step under Lamar if this man never got injured and he was able to put something.
He'd have been
He was like the new wave of QB because obviously you had like Michael Vick and stuff like that, and then he went away and then he came back and he was good for a hot second. But like RG3, like with Luck, we're gonna be like the new wave quarterbacks, and RG3 was like really good.
Lamar would have been picked higher if RG3 had actually played properly, because that was the big knock against Lamar during draft day, is that he's RG3, and if RG3 goes down, guess what? Lamar's useless, and that's why he fell to like a late first, early second.
I mean, it's just so sad if you think about it. Like, Andrew Luck's not in the league anymore. That's sad. You think about that. That's like a very talented quarterback.
He's
no longer in the league.
He's not in the league yet. Ryan Gregson is.
Like RG3. I'm thinking about. I wanted to see RG3 succeed.
Dude, that rookie season.
It was
I wanted this man to succeed. Even on Washington, I wanted him to be successful, just not against the Cowboys, because it's exciting to see mobile quarterbacks in the game like that. It's exciting to play with mobile quarterbacks in Madden. It's more fun.
Yes, it was. The Madden 13 was very fun with the read option. Like, it was a glitch for sure. You could just use RG3 and just run outside for 80 yards because the defense would collapse in the middle. Anyways, that was a weird time in the NFL. All right, let's just take a vote. I'm gonna say that Jamarcus Russell is indeed the biggest bust of all time.
Ooh, that's tough.
Everyone's
biggest quarterback,
biggest QB bust.
If it's between him and Leaf,
QB bust.
I go Leaf.
I'm gonna go Leaf.
Ooh,
I'm going Leaf.
Wow.
It's a coin flip to me. I mean, both are really, really bad.
I don't know who you could have had instead of Jamarcus Russell though.
Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, you could have had Calvin Johnson.
What QB instead?
Oh, Q.B. was Brady Quinn.
Brady
so
Quinn.
like that draft was terrible.
But that's what I mean of like biggest bust, because I don't even know if QB would be the biggest bust like in the NFL, because like I really think like you look at a guy like Tony Mandarich, in which you have Hall of Famers going before and after him, where they're like, the Packers are going to get him, and he barely played steroids the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, he did well in Indianapolis, but
I have to say Ryan Leaf, just because it's like you could have had Peyton Manning instead.
No, they didn't have a chance to. Manning came off the board, so he was 2. So Leaf was number 2. So I don't know who came after him in that draft. I'll have to look at that.
I want to say Charles Woodson. Well, I think it's going to be
Charlie Batch.
Yeah,
Charlie Batch. Come on. I don't hate the pick. He just didn't come through, and he was very soft. And any type of criticism, he yelled at reporters.
If he waited a little bit, you could have gotten Brian Greasy and Matt Hasselbeck.
Right.
It was like 36 rounds.
Yeah, Greasy. Hasselbeck.
Randy Moss was in that draft.
Who?
Randy Moss.
Oh, Randy Moss.
He fell big time. I remember that drop was big news.
Yeah.
This is when we drafted Greg Ellis.
Do you remember, Scooter, what happened to Randy Moss when he faced the Cowboys that first game?
Yes,
because they didn't.
I do.
They didn't.
I do remember. And I also remember the Cowboys. We have a weird history with receivers and doing dumb stuff with receivers. Did you know Jimmy Carter? The Cowboys drafted this dude. Jimmy Carter. He was a Cowboy.
President Carter?
No, the receiver for Jacksonville.
Oh, no,
Jimmy Smith. That's Jimmy Smith. Yeah, he was an expansion draft pick.
Jimmy Smith.
I was like, peanut farmer from Georgia?
Here's the thing, Scooter. Remember at the time your wide receiver core, Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper, you had a few other guys too. Jimmy Smith was never going to be Jimmy Smith in that roster.
I think
Jay Novacek is your tight end. He wasn't going to get looks. He just
He
wasn't.
he was also injured that first year, Jimmy
heck?
Smith. All right,
Second round.
Oh, Tree, you didn't vote on who you thought the biggest bust was. Are you the tiebreaker, or are you going to put us back into a tie?
It's a tough call because I feel like Leaf flamed out harder, but Jamarcus was the top pick. So I'm going to go Leaf here because I feel like, once again, it was Manning or Leaf. Jamarcus didn't really have an option. He got picked because Al Davis went senile.
Al Davis.
People thought Ryan Leaf was going to get a gold jacket.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Fair enough. You guys have decided that Ryan Leaf is the biggest bust.
If Trevor Lawrence doesn't amount to anything, does he potentially fight for that mantle?
Nope.
No, he already played all 16 games. Yeah.
I think Urban Meyer will grind for that mantle for him.
He retires tomorrow. He's still not a bigger bust than Jamarcus Russell and Ryan Leaf.
Yeah. Yeah, he was productive. I think Lawrence is way better than people give him credit for.
I'm not saying he's going to be. If you have
Urban Meyer being his head coach,
because he was so heavily praised coming out that he was the guy.
Nah, Urban cancels all that out for him.
Yeah. I see a lot of people saying Jeff George. George was a solid pro for a while.
Jeff George, his issue was he was a cancer. He got traded for a first-round pick, so he did all right.
Yeah, he was
he had a really good year in Minneapolis. He had a good year in Oakland. He had flashes.
Played for the Falcons.
And then he had an argument with his head coach. Got traded to Oakland.
Achilles Smith has to be pretty high up there.
Especially because, remember, Washington offered Cincinnati their entire draft to move up and pick Ricky Williams before they.
Where was Josh Freeman picked?
It was
Freeman was,
he had a good start, though, so I wouldn't call him a bust.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
In that sense.